Welcome you again. It is still Good Morning Anambra weekend edition. Today is Friday. After now, you go enjoying yourself for the weekend. For those of you that are not on duty anyway, because work continues here. Welcome indeed. Let's start talking on the topics that we'll have for you this morning. And the first one is INEC and inconclusive elections. I'm still here with Dave. My name is IJ. Dave.
We're ready to look at this topic. It's very crucial to our political and democratic narrative.
Yes, it is. And we'll have guests that have joined us to look at this. Dr. Ifeanyi Ike, SSA to Governor Obiano on political matters. You're welcome to our studios, Doc.
Thank you, the presenter. Good morning, viewers. Lend us your attention.
Okay. And we'll have Honorable Pascal Chizoba, is a public affairs analyst.
Good morning, viewers. It's a pleasure.
Okay. Dr. Ifeanyi Ike, I would like to welcome both of you to our studios this morning. Sorry for what happened earlier. Okay, governorship and state houses of elections were conducted on the 9th of March 2019, after which INEC declared some state elections inconclusive, which includes Bauchi, Kano, Adamawa, and a whole lot of them, while collection was stopped at River State due to some pockets of violence witnessed at different parts of the states. Now, INEC is set to conduct supplementary elections in the states that we are hitherto declared inconclusive. We want to look at this word, inconclusive election. What does that mean? Did it just start? I think we have heard about that before now. We saw what happened in Osun State and perhaps even before Osun State. But there are indices that differentiated this other inconclusive one from the ones that we had before. All these and more are the things we're going to look at this morning. Okay, let's start with you. Honorable Ifeanyi Ike, could you please give us a brief description of this inconclusive election?
Thank you very much, the presenter. By being inconclusive, we have to refer to subsection 2 of section 179 of the Electoral Act, whereby there is provision for a rerun in an event of inconclusive election. But that will take me to another important portion of the Electoral Act, and that is section 26 and section 53 of the Electoral Act, paragraphs 41E and 43B, whereby it was provided that in an event of an election and the margin of lead is not enough to equate with the number of cancelled votes in a particular polling booth, then there is the need for cancellation, which we may refer to now as the election was inconclusive. What am I trying to imply? For instance, I used Osun, which you mentioned. In Osun, Adeleke was leading of PDP. Scored about, led or won with 354 votes. And having won with that, they considered that the cancelled ballot papers, where they had crisis, where there were snatching of ballot boxes, where there were fightings and assault on INEC, and those areas were cancelled, totaling about 3,000 votes. So that vote of Adeleke, 354 margin, was not substantial enough for you to declare Adeleke winner. Therefore, on that basis, they said, out of 354 you have won, what of the 3,000 and something votes? It is called margin of lead principle. That's what INEC called it, margin of lead principle. And if that is the case, then you have to do what? Declare that result, election inconclusive. I give you an example back home here. in the Idemili North and South Federal Constituency, before you busy, one Chidoka of PDP, five years of Apaga, one Chidoka of PDP, but 1,500 and something votes. But some polling booths in Obosi were cancelled. And that margin with which he won Chidoka was not enough for Ibezi to be declared the winner, because of about 26 polling booths were cancelled in Obosi, 5 cancelled in Abatete. And they did not equate in any way with 1,500 and something votes, which Ibezi led him with. Therefore, that election was declared inconclusive at Ogidi, Idemili North headquarters. Okay? So that is what we mean by declaring an election inconclusive. And to start with, this is not the first time. In 2015, about 5 states, including Imo, Abia, Bayelsa, and 2 other more, we are declared inconclusive. The only problem is that of this very 2019, it's an anathema. It's so much. Remember, many were done for Senate and Reps, which were redone during the House of Assembly and governorship election.
Yeah.
And it was too much this time around.
And so there's still some that are standing.
That's some that are standing.
We'll still look at that, will I say, occurrence. Okay. But the question that I want to ask at this point is, when you cancel votes or elections we are not able to hold in some polling booths, what determines those cancellations? Is it when it is a failure on the side of the INEC, or a failure from the voters or external forces who maybe have decided to disrupt the election in that area? I don't know if you get my question.
Because perhaps they see that.
Yes. A failure.
Let's Pascal. Let
Pascal address.
Okay.
Anyway, the only thing I have to say in those places, like where you have cancelled votes or elections are being disrupted for one reason or the other, mostly it's not from INEC. The problem is not from INEC. The problem has always come from the stakeholders, the major players in the game. Election. Because, for example, I may come from a political ward that has only 2 or 3 polling booths with less than 5,000 registered voters. Then someone might come from a political ward that has up to 20 polling booths with over 30,000 registered voters. By strength, I know that probably I'm going to lose this election. And the only thing I can do is to see how I can disrupt those areas so that those results will not come in. So that at least with my 5,000, even if it's 1,000 or 2,000 I got from the place, I will be declared winner. So these are most of the things, most of these.
They don't know that inconclusive election is on the line. That if you do that,
the inconclusive of this election, in one way or the other, is good for our democracy. Is making our votes to count, because before, this is not the first time the issue of inconclusive is coming up. In 2011, between Dora Akunyere and Dr. Chris Nwabezengige, there was an inconclusive election. Yes. Because there was a lot of pocket of violences. And as at that time, those that did was, their intention was, let them stop election in some places in Idemili and other places, so that they will be declared the winner. At the end of the day, Dora was leading with 1,000+ votes. But they have to go for a rerun. It was at that rerun that they won. In 2013, governorship election, where our governor, Willie Obiano, came in, the same thing played out. In his first, he didn't win the election in the first instance. There has to be, because even in the Idemili North and South, there was no voting. And there was, he was leading with some.
Election is good for democracy.
It's good for democracy.
So we are coming back. We are coming back, don't worry. We went to the street and talked to some people. Let's hear from them now.
Last election, we had inconclusive. But this time around, the word is now, the more inconclusive nature of elections has given, for me as a person, the notion that people will develop apathy towards election.
Something leads to inconclusive election. And if it is legal, then there's nothing that will stop people from voting if they know exactly what happened. If there are things that are done the right way, people should come out to vote.
A democratically elected government like Nigeria has to, no matter the fact, do an election and have the result as it is. But here in Nigeria, here inconclusive, here inconclusive, here inconclusive, hoping to leak the election. And on my own side of view, it cannot bring pure democracy.
Right from when I was small up until now,
I've never seen people come out to vote in this way. When people vote and it does not count, or you tell them inconclusive election or something like that, everybody will be discouraged.
The present INEC is setting a very bad precedent. I don't think it doesn't augur well for democracy in Nigeria. As you can see, up to 7 states now, we have inconclusive results. It will lead to voters' apathy and a loss of confidence.
Good to have you back. It is still Good Morning Anambra, and we are still looking at INEC and inconclusive elections. We still have Dr. Fanyike, SSA to the Governor Obiano on political matters in the House, and Honorable Pascal Chisoba, Public Affairs Analyst. And before we left, Ifeanyi said that inconclusive election is good for our democracy. But I know that some political analysts say that looking at the frightening routinization of the cancelled or inconclusiveness of the last election, that if the trend is not checked, that it might bring a very big problem to our nascent democracy. Is our democracy still nascent? That's a question
a
for
boy of 20 years is no longer
another day. So, looking at the specter of inconclusive election, let me come to you, Honorable. If we continue like this, are we going to have a credible election? Because most people say that this thing has political understood, like we have established here. Okay? Are we going to continue like this? Even when Ifeanyi has said that it's good for democracy.
Yes, something happened last year. There was all attempt to make Mr. President, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, to sign the amended Electoral Act, which he did not assent to up till now. All these things we are talking about would have been taken care of if he had assented to that the amendment on the act. So the best bet now is for Mr. President. Now he has won the election for the second tenure, and after this, he knew then it will affect him. So he rescinded on that and he decided not to sign it. If you remember, he did not sign. He did not sign.
And some people say that was at the point that this 2019 election was rigged.
Thank you. So the best bet now is for him. He knows he's not coming back. He will do his complete 4 years and leave the saddle. This is the opportunity for the Senate to pressurize him once again, for him to now sign. And once that is signed, this problem of inconclusiveness will just be jettisoned out.
There are two dimensions to this argument.
Yes.
Some people say that politicians orchestrate this kind of things to have staggered elections, so that those places, like he argued also, where they feel they are not confident, they can focus on it to win elections. People normally trump up what happened in Osun State. Now, some people also say that why inconclusive elections started taking place in Nigeria is because the umpire has developed a system where votes count. That, let me take for example, in 2007 and 2003, and 1999, where we said that results of elections are called, we saw situations where someone will win an election with a higher number of votes than the registered voters in a particular constituency. Those things happened in 2003 and 2007.
Of course.
So when you look at this, is it not a system that is growing and that is bettering, that is trumping up this inconclusive election, where people will now depend on votes to win elections?
To me, I always align with this school of thought that inconclusiveness of election is not bad. It's a good thing in the right direction. So that politicians will begin to understand you cannot take people for granted. Because like I said, all these things you see happening on election day is something that is well planned and executed. Because even in some political parties or even politicians, the money they budgeted for talks and police and security to make sure that they intimidate voters in a particular area where they are not confident of winning is always there. So what INEC has been able to achieve so far, though that this process, it cannot get 100% perfect situation, but so far, what INEC has been able to achieve, to me, is the right thing in the right direction, that the vote of every Nigerian
But when
counts.
it becomes so rampant, let me use the present election, for example.
Yeah.
We have, I think, 6 states where there were, at the initial stage, declared inconclusive. But the game is changing in Bauchi with the back and forth of INEC, whether to continue with the election. The 7 states, which is Rivers, we don't know the situation. They've released a timeline anyway, but we don't even know how far. Collation of results have not been determined, and several things are coming up in Rivers. So how do we balance it? When we have a rampant situation where you are having different elections declared inconclusive, what does it say for us?
Declaring the elections in many states inconclusive does not mean that the process is not transparent, or maybe there's something wrong with the process. Are you getting it? Because when, like the case of Rivers, people keep on mentioning, in Rivers State, over the years, no election has ever taken place in Rivers. No election has ever taken place in Rivers State, quote me. Because over the years, what you see Rivers people doing is that they sit down in one table. Because all the whole stakeholders are in one political family. They sit down, they write results, bring out for people. But today, you see this camp, that same people sitting on the same table, belonging to different political camps. Now there is a divided interest. Because I don't see any reason why an average River State man will kill his brother just because he wants to get to a political power. So to me, what is happening in River State is a very big eyesore when it comes to this electoral process in Nigeria. Then, having said that, take for instance Kano, Bauchi, Sokoto, and other places you mentioned. To me, I have always, it's not about the party that is winning. Because in this election, there's a lot of emotion on the side of the voters, mostly on this part of Nigeria, because probably we don't like the man that is there, that he must go, whether he likes it or not.
Or perhaps generally that we need a change.
Nigerians,
we like changing from.
Yes. So it depends. It depends on the angle you are looking at.
Okay, let's continue. Let's look at the election that we are declared inconclusive. Some of them are coming up tomorrow. The supplements of some of them are coming up tomorrow. So what do we expect? What do we expect from tomorrow's supplementary election?
Well, tomorrow that will be a kind of rerun.
Yes.
And I'm expecting apathy. It happened last time. It may still happen again.
Really?
Some may not be interested in coming out to vote massively as they did in the first one. Simply because when you continue to postpone or talk about rerun and rerun, some will lose interest. Only the adherents of some of the parties or candidates that you will see that will struggle to ensure they deliver their master or whoever they are for. So tomorrow I'm envisaging a kind of apathy. The turnout may not be impressive. But at the same time, remember, the issue of this inconclusive, if not well handled, can lead to further inconclusiveness.
That's exactly what I want to find out from you, Pascal. What if tomorrow's election is not conclusive again?
Doug said that I'm not expecting a party tomorrow. You know why? If you look at the states that were involved, in Sokoto, it is an incumbent governor's election. In Kano, it's an incumbent governor's election. In Adamawa, and many of these places. And in most of these places, the incumbents are losing. So they are going to mobilize their party members, voters. Like when you watch Kano, what is happening? The governor there, like in Gama local government, where he has not worked for more than 3 years now, overnight he has tied almost 5 or 6 roads there. And he went campaign the other day there. All the village heads, everybody came out and they were celebrating him. So I believe tomorrow people might say, okay, let us use this thing to pay him back. So to me, I'm not seeing apathy. But what I'm saying in essence is that I want security agencies to provide a level playing ground let the atmosphere be peaceful. And once the atmosphere is peaceful,
security agencies.
yes.
But the last election, even the international community indicted the security agencies about the activities during the election.
Yes.
And we have heard about the number of DIGs and the policemen that were drafted for this just single election. What do you expect? Is what we experienced on the 9th of March going to happen again, whereby some people say that the security agency intimidated voters?
Mm-hmm. That was covered in Rivers State. Not just security agents, the military were used. And people were saying, why should the military come into play in this kind of politics when some people are somewhere in Sambisa Forest? So what I am trying to say is that there will be adequate security because the number of states are now
few. Yes.
I'm not talking about the entire country. I'm not talking about maybe 2 or 3 geographical divides. We're talking about some states, just about 6 or 7 of them. So all the security operators will be mobilized effectively and adequately to those states.
Okay, finally,
So
let me now ask Pascal,
Yes.
are you seeing a situation where some of the results will change? The voting pattern will dwindle towards the person that was losing before to win these elections? In 30 seconds, what would be your analysis?
Yes, I am seeing it in about 2 or 3 states. Like the case of Sokoto, the case of Kanu. I'm seeing where someone that is leading
Will become the lead.
yeah, become the lead. Then like the case of Adamawa, the case of Bauchi, I don't see APC or the party that is losing, turning the lead in those areas.
Okay, and before we go, I would also like to find out from you, Honorable. We saw what the role that judiciary is playing in Bauchi politics. Okay, Inyang, granting that court expected, though it has been INEC has set it aside, and then the judiciary now not working on what the law says concerning a particular situation. How do you assess the role of judiciary in all this? Because we very much know that they said the law said that the High Court has no jurisdiction in cancelling or setting aside election that is ongoing, okay, or collation is ongoing, and now Bed Inya went ahead and granted that court order. How do you see the role of judiciary in all this?
We have been made to believe that judiciary is the last hope of the common man. There should be the final arbiter in the electoral processes. So, but these days, you will know that the judiciary is not actually doing what they're supposed to do. In some areas, they do well, we hail them. In some areas, they do the unbecoming, what you don't expect them to do. So, to me, money politics is our problem. Sometimes, some of these people that will determine the fate of an individual in an election may have exchange of envelopes, and another thing will come to play.
Too bad.
It's a problem in this country.
Too bad for our
It has been
politics.
happening.
Thank you.
And the judiciary is not left out of it.
Thank you.
The police is not left out, you know that. Even the INEC themselves, they are not left out of it.
Even the police servants, everybody we are all in this together.
That's the Nigerian factor.
Thank you very much. That's Dr. Ifeanyi Ike, SSA to Governor Obiano on political matters. So thank you very much for coming, Doc.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
and Honorable Pascal Chizoba, our public affairs analyst. Thank you, Pascal.
It's a pleasure.
All right. Well, thank you. You did not call. Maybe you are enjoying what you are saying, or we are speaking your mind. But not to worry, we are coming back in another session. Water everywhere. You can't find a good one to drink. That's our next topic. Stay.